Very good to have you with us. Firstly, it was lovely hearing you talk about how much potential we have in South Africa, which so many of us here forget.
It's good to have an insider-outsider perspective.
Yes.
I think you're close enough to see. Not at all. Not at all. Most of the issues South Africa deals with, many countries on the planet are dealing with as well. I think in some ways South Africa can chart a way forward.
All right, so gender-based violence, where are we on that? How do we build capacity?
Look, we know it's a serious issue. I mean, we've heard the recent outrage of citizens saying enough is enough. Yeah. And just on Monday, the president, his weekly newsletter was all about gender-based violence and calling on South Africans to work together to address the issue. Part of it is an emergency action plan. And one of the elements of the emergency action plan is how do we strengthen the criminal justice response. So if you're going to strengthen the criminal justice response, you've got to ensure that police officers and prosecutors understand what are these crimes and how do we address them. How do we get the evidence? How do we make sure we're able to successfully prosecute these crimes?
Do we in South Africa understand what emergency means? Like, to be done now?
I think we do.
Right.
I think the president's response was unique in saying, okay, wait, we've got to get resources. So there are resources that are being harnessed from various departments to address it. The fact that we're able to be here to actually train and engage with people who are on the cold face of dealing with these issues. After the training, it won't be sort of, okay, I learned something academic. No, it's very practical. The people who teach with the Attorney General Alliance are practitioners who are experienced and who deal with these issues every day.
Okay, so obviously getting the legal framework right is essential, but that is at the end of something that should be dealt with right at the beginning. How do we change what is happening there? How do we change the thinking? How do we get the education right so that people don't commit those crimes in the first place?
Right. I mean, if we've got a table, you've got four legs. One leg isn't going to make that table stand. No. So possibly law is one leg.
Sure.
And South Africa has outstanding law and outstanding constitution and outstanding policies. Implementation, that needs to be strengthened. But before that, you're addressing the cultural issue.
Correct.
Patriarchy. The norm in South Africa and many countries is that male leadership is a norm and male dominance is a norm, and that violence is acceptable. Think about how we teach our boys versus how we teach our girls. Do we empower our girls with the same amount of information about sexuality and safety that we do with boys? We tell boys, man up, be violent. That is the definition of a boy or a man. So these issues around education in schools, in classrooms, in religious institutions has to happen and be part of addressing the issue.
And for both men and women, because a lot of women in South Africa think it's okay.
Absolutely right. So it's not just men are often the perpetrators and often espouse these very sexist views, but you're right. Undergirding that are women who think that that is acceptable. So the mind shift, the mental paradigm shift has to take place with women, with girls, with men, and with boys.
You're also going to be talking about cybercrimes or cyberbullying. I mean, that's an important factor as well, isn't it, that needs to be tackled?
So gender-based violence and cybercrime, this is where technology and gender-based violence meet. So it's not about saying we shouldn't use technology, but the abuse and misuse of technology with respect to gender-based violence, that's a problem, and that should not take place. So cyberbullying is just one form of cybercrime, but there's stalking, there's the misuse of images through technology and the internet and social media. So those are other elements of cybercrime.
When are we going to get details of findings?
Well, what we're here to do is train, and so we're training a group of prosecutors and a group of police officers representative of all 9 provinces. The outcome will, and that training, by the way, is also based in a local reality. We have local experts also doing the training. The outcome is that there will be practical tools and information that all these professionals, when they go back to work on Monday, will be able to apply immediately.
All right. Thank you very much. Good to talk to you.
Pleasure.